what I was thinking while sitting in the chair, because I think there's so much more to this life than what meets the eye. I do. So let's flip this around, because you know how you see someone and they look like someone else? You feel like you've seen them before, you've met them before, or you feel like you know them. You feel like you know them for some strange reason. Oh, look at that cardinal up there in that tree. For some strange reason, excuse me, the sky's blue today compared to yesterday, you all. If you're just tuning in, welcome, and good morning to you all. So I was looking at this post. Someone shared this on the Facebook. It was like with Andrew Jackson, how Andrew Jackson looked, and then there was another person who looked just like him in this lifetime. And or you know how, if you've seen the pictures of the museums and stuff, and you've seen people standing next to the pictures, they look like the people in the pictures from long, long ago. How can that be? How can you stand next to a painting in a museum and you look just like that painting? You are, there's something to this. There really is, because it really makes you think. And they say, you've heard them say that there is like, there's doppelgangers, if that's how you say it, that you have a twin on the earth. Why do we have a twin on the earth? I thought we were the only person who looked like ourselves. We were unique and all that kind of stuff. And I still feel we're unique. I do, but why is it that there's people in the past that we look exactly like? And or we may have these same traits also. And how can kids, when they're very small, some of them, they remembered their life before they came back into this world. I remember an account by this little boy. His mother told me when he was little, he remembers being a farmer, and he had lots of children, and he had a wife, and he lived on a farm. And she thought, "What are you talking about?" So he told her he knows how he died. He was on the top of the roof repairing his roof to his barn. His brother was with him and he failed, and that's how he died. My throat's itching. He died. He remembers that. And then, they did a study before. These people, when you hear so many accounts of something, you're going to do a study. Somebody's going to get curious and they're going to do a study and see if there's something to this. Children remembering a past life, and it don't even have to be right where they're at. It can be in some other country, okay? It can. And they go take the account of the child, and they go to that place, and sure enough, everything that child said added up. Everything. And they're thinking, how did they have that memory? How did they? Hello there, Apple Brooks Honey, Susan B. Honey. How did they have the memory? Look, I've got the shadow, just like the shadow people from last night, you all. That shadow can't keep up with me. I'm not a shadow. I'm not a shadow person. I'm not. Just like me, whenever I run into people, someone says, I know you from somewhere. I've seen you before. And you probably notice people like that too. They tell you they feel like they've seen, wait a minute. What? Okay, that light from back there is shining on me from up here. Um, well, that looks strange that the light will, I guess it's not too strange. I'm getting caught off. I might be having somebody do another video of me when I did something about the computer screen, the laptop. How come those numbers were upside down or backwards and stuff, and some weren't? They'd be doing something about this shadow. Yeah, it happens to you. Your family for India, Reincarnation is an accepted, experienced reality. Yeah, I think there is something that would have been a better word for the title, but some people may feel like they've lived before. And yeah, I better quit looking at this coming through. Okay, I am. I'm going to quit looking at it, you all. They feel like they lived before. I worked with a girl. She feels like she was a very wealthy woman, and she was a different race in another lifetime. She was. And I remember seeing myself uh, in my dream state, a totally different person, totally different race, right there in the face. I didn't even look like me, but I knew it was me in my dream state. I knew that was me, and I thinking, wow, because the image of the lady, I was a black woman. Um, Her face came straight up to me. Her hair was like kind of short. Um, and I was looking at her, and it was literally right there. And I thought, wow, is that me? Because I felt the connection. I felt the connection in my dream state. She just it just her picture right in front of me, just like that. Have you all ever experienced that too? It's like you like been shown something. Um, yeah, you that's how they test the Dalai Lama. When they're really young, they test him on past events. Wow. I did not know that. Yeah, I did not know that. And see, they made a movie about that. I'm sure they made several movies, but that is it Aeon Flux, the Aeon Flux, where people they life was normal. Life was normal. Then a great big pandemic or something broke out. The virus came or something in this movie, Aeon Flux or something. And this guy, it was showing the story of this guy and his wife, I think, and she died. And they went into this enclosed domed city. It was a dome, a dome to protect the people inside. And through years and years and years, reincarnations, I guess, people were being reborn. As soon as one body would die, there was like somebody up there in that little thing with a way above the dome or something. And he was in charge, a very old man, in charge of placing the whatever it was, the I don't know, DNA or element or something into this thing. And the baby of that person would be born into another family and they would get pregnant or something like that and they'd have the baby. But this guy spent his whole life looking for his wife. And his wife, who she didn't know she was his wife in past lives. She was sent to, stop whatever was going on. And he saw her and she didn't stop him. She didn't stop what he was doing, but she like saw a photograph of her with him years and years ago, and she said that looks like her, and bits of her memory flashed back. But he got with her. The moral of the story is he got with her. They defeated the people who kept this cycle going and going, and reincarnation, the re the rebirthing over and over and over and over into different family lines. And they broke through the dome, they broke through the city, they went out into the world. But really, there is something to that. Um, Michael, you don't think you learned your lesson? Yeah, good morning, Michelle. Yeah, Logan's Run. I've heard of that, I've never seen it. I haven't. Yeah, but there's something to this, you all, and I'm not a good storyteller with movies that I only watch like once or twice. And I don't think too much of it because they just drag on, but still there was something like that. Um, um, Richard, honey, you remember people in past lives also, and it's like you all run into people that you feel like you've known all your life. You have. You felt like you've known them all your life and you've never met them before. I've met lots of people like that in this lifetime. I have. I felt like, my spirit connected with their spirit on a spiritual level. You could say on a soul level. But then you have the people who say soul contracts. You signed a contract with people to come back. But then how do they keep it going? How do you keep the cycle going? To what end? And yeah, I've seen on here somebody said, you keep coming back until you learned all your lessons, till you learned everything that you needed to learn. I feel like an old soul, you all. I am an old soul. And now my body's catching up with my old soul. But I'm a very, very old soul. And even when I was little within my being, and you all probably can relate, that you felt like an old soul too. You felt like you couldn't really connect with your peers. You felt like an adult, uh, I don't know. I connected a lot better with older people, much older people, uh, than I did with the youngers. People, um, I don't know, double my age. That's what I connected with on that type of a level, because a lot of people on my level, even today, I can't really relate to them as well as I can older people. I mean, I get along with people still. Um, yes, this new moon, is there a new moon? Where's the new moon? I don't know where the new moon's at. I do not. Um, yeah. Let me look at this. Domed cities, yes, like the Hunger Games. That the first one was kind of wild. Um, one, but then it started repeating. You get along with children, adults, not so much. Christine Mott, honey. Um, thank you, Penny. Yeah, my porch is it's 50 feet long. This was a foreclosure when we got out of the military. Um, this house was like, oh my gosh, we did a lot of work on the house, not physical work, but restaining it and stuff like that. But it's solid. Owns. He got the wood for the house out of the woods back there. All the wood, he cut it, and him and his brother built this log cabin that I'm on all by himself. Yeah. So let me get a subject, because I have a tendency to jump subjects. I get sidetracked. So have what was the subject? Something about past lives. Have we lived before? And I think we probably have. I really do. And you may say, Gina, honey, that does not line up with Christianity. Well, I'm not a label. I'm not a label. I'm not. Don't line me up with that, because I'm not gonna. There's no fit. There's no fit. One size fits all. You ever see that one size fits all? And I've seen that too in the store. One size fits all. When I was looking for, like, maybe I could get a knee brace or something, even though I have knee pads. One size fits all, and I'm sitting there thinking, that size don't fit my knee. Okay, my knees are smaller, but I'm not having a one size fits all, and I can't even wrap it around my knee because it's so big it would literally fall off. Something like that. So really, to classify people as to a certain sect of society and stuff like that, or labels, you can't say that, because it's not true. It's not true. They're not. Everybody's not all the same. They all are unique. They're unique. Okay? So even with my thought, I never even thought about past lives before until I started really waking up. I hadn't, you all. I haven't. Um, but there is something to it, because you may be like me too. You may feel that you have a nick. You're really good at doing something with your hands, or you have a knowledge that well, how do I know how to do this? Why does this come so easily? And people may look at you and think, how did you know that? And you may say, I don't know how I knew this, but this is how you do it. So how can that be? How can you know how to do something if you've never even done it before? This is how you do it, just like this. It's that simple. Um, yeah. Um, um, yeah. You're an Amazon. You're in the Amazon with bad knees. That's really bad. And I'm sitting there thinking, there's no way I'd make it in Amazon now. It's like literally, it's been like 2 weeks ago. I woke up, my knees got bad overnight, just like that, just like that. Just like if you're waking up with a stiff neck, overnight globally, joints globally, something is occurring. Let me flip this back around. Christina Faith, honey, have a feeling the world keeps getting darker, and there'll be a lot of people discovering their gifts that they never would have never needed to use. I believe that, Christina. That's right. You just that's really a deep thought right there. People will discover gifts. Um, Maybe it's a great awakening. Maybe the veil has been lifted. And if you go to the biblical account, you will be known as you were known. Now we see in part, something like that. I can't even quote it, but like that, when perfection comes and all of that kind of stuff, you all. Yeah, let me flip this around. Yeah. Your knees have been very painful lately, and they never were before. Penny, honey, it's overnight. It's global. Something happened. It did. And yeah, so I think we have lived before. People go into museums. They find these photos, these portraits that were painted long, long ago, and they stand right next to it, and they pose, and they look just like it, just like it. Um, yeah, and I think they actually had an app that, and if you think about this is kind of creepy. They have an app where you take a photo of yourself, and that app matches you up to a famous person in history or somebody back in history. You seen those apps? I seen it a long time ago. It matches you up to somebody back in history, and you might be a little thinner or a little heavier or something like that. Your hair might be different, but then the facial features, for the most part, look the same. Almost eerie looking, totally eerie looking. Um, yeah. Christine, honey, I'm sorry with your dogs at times. You do. We're so sorry. We hope that your dog comes back. Yeah. You tried to comment, and the comments are retracted, as Twitter is from now on. Oh, yeah. What I've noticed, and I think I read on YouTube with their new whatever they got, they won't allow comments to start coming in until like you got 50 people on there, and then they'll slowly trickle in. And I think it's the algorithms. They are stopping comments. Hello, Keith, honey, thank you. They are stopping comments from being posted as soon as like your fingers type it and it lands on here. Your comment just like disappears at times. It's like automatic. It's happening everywhere. It's controlling everything. And there was something I saw last night too. It was something about history itself. Oh, I know what it was. It was the Akashic records. The Akashic records. Um, how they say that you can enter those records, and it will tell you things about your past. And then they referred to it as a super artificial intelligence computer. That's what they referred to that as. And I thought, wow, because artificial intelligence is very intelligent, but that's what they referred to it as when they were explaining it, this supercomputer that knows everything about your past and can predict your future, something like that. with the I can't even say the Akashic records, and you can access it. And they said some people, they went and looked at them, or they had somebody looked at them and they did what it said, but their life did not turn out that way. Um, it didn't. So it's not all that. So I don't really know much about that. But these past lives and children remembering who they were from another lifetime. Could you imagine being trapped in your body? Okay, you're trapped in your body at times. Um, and you're thinking, how did I get trapped in this body? Yeah, because you feel like, I'm not supposed to be in this body. Give me a different body. Oh, my goodness gracious, you are. Yeah. And with these past lives and the reincarnation, I don't think that certain sex society, SECTS of society, adhere to that. Like someone said, a Hindu or in India and stuff. Some they tell it's taboo. You don't talk about that. You do not talk about that. The reincarnation. Why don't you talk about that? Really, why don't you? If it's a valid thing to explore, it really is. It's very valid to explore the reincarnation, the past lives, because there's something to it. I think anything they tell you like that no, you don't want to go there. Why are they saying that? And you may have found out that you have encountered um, somebody. Uh, I've known you before. I've seen you before in many different lifetimes. And we were, like this one lady, she told me um, that I was like a priestess sometime in Egypt. She remembers me being there with her, and I didn't have no memory of it, and working beside her as a nurse during a war over there in like I don't know, like crime, not Crimea, somewhere around that region over there, some kind of a war over there as a field nurse. And then I've had another friend tell me that psychic or somebody said, oh, she had eyeshadow on her eye. She goes, that's how you used to wear it. She goes, what are you talking about? She said, oh, well, you used to wear it really thick back there in Egyptian time. Uh, how did you all, because, and it was kind of resonating with her when she heard this woman explaining to her what she looked like, what she was wearing, the clothes, because she likes she likes that color of clothes. Um, that this lady was describing. And some people may say, well, there's nothing to that either. It's just people trying to fool you. But no, I think there is something to all of this. There really is. Um, yeah, so much more to all of this. That's right, Miss Corbett. I have known you before you, yes, entered into your earthly mother's womb in the celestial kingdom. Dreams and people will connect you with real and written. Yeah. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. You will be known as you were known. Um, and really, now this is the thing. If if there truly is something to past lives, uh, someone said, well, humans are recycled. I don't really like that because you recycle waste and stuff. But reincarnation, if you have truly lived life after life after life, and you were somebody of great importance, and you keep entering in, these other people will know who you are from past lives, because I think it will carry over and over and over. And there's some people whose memory, they say they wipe your memory clean so you don't remember it. It's just like the aliens. When they abduct you, they wipe your memory clean, and then you have no memory of it except little bits and pieces until you can go under a deep hypnosis or something. What is that, regression therapy or some? I don't know what that's called. I never had it done. Deep hypnosis, or something. So someone, there are people who have known you in your other lifetimes. If you adhere to train of thought, if you can like go there in your mind and think, well, that is a possibility. People have known you before. Yeah, that sun is bright. You all, this sky looks totally different from yesterday. Um, it does, totally different. I probably need to be quiet. Probably need to, yeah, the spirit. Yeah, your spirit hovers over your body. If you're laying on that table and you're on your deathbed in the operating room and you leave your body, you're hovering over it and you're looking down at it, that spirit's got to occupy another body. It does. It's like when Jesus cast out that legion of demons in that person, it needed another body to go into. It did. Yeah. And it went to another body. Um, I remember going to church when I was little, and the preacher, when they had people come up and pray for them, and they had like they wanted to have something cast out of them or something, he said, close your eyes. Every single person, do not open your eyes. Um, for they were praying for this person because they were going to cast something out of this person. Because if you had your eyes open and if you weren't like guarded, that spirit could get inside of you. Yeah, I did experience that going in church, that right there, the casting out. And it's true. They will look for a place to go. So yeah, it's not a nice topic to think about, and it just adds to a lot of the stuff that's going on in the world. If you think there is so much more before happening than here now. And then I saw something last night. There's this video. They got these YouTube channels, they have like 16 viewers and so many million views and stuff. They were saying every human since the dawn of time felt that they were living in the last days. But in all reality, they weren't, because all of this biblical stuff and gloom and doom, it never happened. But they trace it back to every single generation, saying we're living in the end times, and then the years kept passing and passing, and centuries and decades, and it never happened. And they equated it to being like a great change occurring, and the race of humanity or humans continued. It was just great change that occurred. But I remember it. I remember that too. When I was little, I remember they saying the sun turned blood red, and if they get you, if that time comes in the end times, and they torture you, they'll pull your fingernails off your fingers. That's what I was told when I was little. I heard that, and that scared me. That terrified me. I thought, I don't want that sun to get big blood red, and they're gonna pull. If they don't like me, and they're gonna pull my fingernails off my fingers as a form of torture. You ever see the movies they got nowadays? The TV series about the barbarians, the Vikings, and they have no problem showing you how to torture a human being. No problem in the movies. Every single thing. And they literally fill that up and embed it in people's mind, how to be cruel to other human beings to get your way. See, that right there is an act of darkness. It's the darkness planting seeds. They want us to become that way, and I don't want to be that way, and I'm not that way. It makes me cringe within to think that they have shows out there that show the barbaricness of the darkness. I want to see the light. I want to see the good that the light has done. I really do. Um, there's too much dark in this world, and it really that light needs to put it out. Well, look how pretty this tree is right there with the white on it. Right there you are. Now that you speak about that, your thumb is missing. You got a thumb missing. What happened to your thumb? What happened to your thumb? Yeah, Satan. is in the church of the brick and mortar. Never heard that phrase before. Yeah, he goes to church too. He does. Yeah. It is a very pretty tree. I forget the name of it. Yeah, you all hit this like button. There's something to past lives. And it's something to think about if you feel so inclined to think outside the box at that theory. We'll call it a theory. We will, because it's something to explore. It is, since there's many different reasons why people may remember a past life. And but I think I personally think there is something to it. I never thought about it before I started having an awakening, because I was told it's taboo. It's only now, that's all there is. But there is so much more. When my spirit, I know that when this spirit leaves this body, I'm going on. My spirit's not going to die, even though this body may die. And I don't like to think of the fact that, not the fact, the thought that people say humans are recycled and you become food when you die. But then you have to ask yourself, okay, if why do they bury people at least 6 feet under the ground? Okay, and then if you think about the tunnels under the earth, all the tunnels under the earth, would these draconian beings, these beings of darkness, would they be able to have access to the graves from underneath? I've thought about that, I have. Would they be able to access it? And they take those bodies out of the graves. Because that's weird. Why did they have to have like 6 feet under? So, well, Christine Honey, I know, Christine Honey, Soul Harvest. Um, um, yeah, bone marrow is still in the DNA. Well, what if they take those bodies and they take that DNA and they, I don't know, create more of you? It's like clones. You got clones all around. People who are grown in these chambers, like in the sci-fi movies, in these liquid-filled chambers. They look just like you, and then they can place any type of you on the earth, something like that. Um, they got to get past the coffins and a ton of soil. Well, they wouldn't have no problem if they had those great big boring machines or something that's like, boom, just like that. And you know, everybody knows where the graveyards are located too. And I'm sure if there's beings underground, they know where the graveyards are located too. And they probably got trap doors, maybe. But then I don't go digging bodies up out of the graves, but you ever see the movies where they dig the bodies up out of the graves and try to like resurrect that body or something? Take that, yeah, that's kind of grease. That's kind of gory, you all. We're not talking about that, but someone wrote that. We are recycled food when we die. That sounds like Soylent Green. It does. That's right. Um, has anybody lost their way of direction? Are you talking about physical direction, like north, south, east, or west, or are you talking about a spiritual direction in life? It's like, yeah, you lost your way in life. And you don't know what to go, where to go. I'm waiting for that, because if you're talking about that, then I got a song. I do. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, 6 foot distance is the Alara safety when you're tight. Oh, wow, that's really interesting. Yeah, that's right. Let me sing this, you all. This is one song for my awakening that came into my mind. It literally did. And it was about my light. It's like this. My light went out. There was nothing I could do, my light went out. I am nothing without you, don't let me go. I'm holding on so tight, don't let me go. Don't let me go. Yeah, that's only a part. My light went out. Three more verses to that. Yeah, and a chorus. But yeah, I literally felt my light went out. I lost my direction in life because my life got turned upside down. And everything that I thought, everything that I knew. Wow, that truck is so loud. That is a massive semi truck going down that road. Yeah, everything that I knew, everything that I thought, my life literally turned itself upside down, and I felt like my light was going out. It never did go out, but I thought it was literally going to go out, you all. Yeah. So I found my way. I found my way, and I think at times parts of us have to die on the inside in order for new birth, new growth to appear. Yeah. In order for new growth to appear, we've got, you can't, your hands cannot be full and expect to be able to grasp something else when your hands are full. You got to let go of something, you all. You really do. Yeah. Oh, Dr. Z. Smith. Well, that's true. That is true. And that's all we'll say on that, you all. That's right. Regenerated. Yes. That's right. You all, please give this video a thumbs up. Yeah. But I know I've jumped all over here, but really the past lives is, there's something to it. And, yeah. I need to try to be quiet for a little bit. Serious buffering. Well, there's probably a reason for it. There probably is. Yeah, the skies have cleared. And I got my satellite dish up yesterday. I finished, I finished getting all the rust off and putting fresh coats of paint on it and anti-seize on all the boats of that satellite last night. And it was heavy. My husband, we climbed in the back of the pickup, and he's strong, very strong, and he was able to pick it up. It's very heavy and awkward. He picked it up and put it on the top of that pole, and I thought, oh my gosh, how did he do that? But that's out of the way, and yeah, so I was happy about that. Yeah. That's right. There is nothing new under the sun. What has been will be, what has been will be again, or something. What has been before will be again. And the past will be brought into account. And then the Akashic records come into play. And then you have Thoth, who, according to that, he was given the thing as the record keeper. The record keeper of everything that you did, every emotion, every thought, all of that. That's what they say. How you responded, everything in the books. And is there really a true physical book that keeps a record of your life? And if you have to get it right in your life, if you think about God, if you're giving many chances to do things right, and you don't, and if you go into another lifetime, well, you would be given more chances. Just think if you went through all these lifetimes to learn how to do the right thing, and all these lifetimes, even if it's 38 lifetimes, and you failed to do the right thing, I think that's a lot of chances to do the right thing. That's what I think, a lot of chances. I took I took my rods out one day when I first had made them or something, and I said, how many times have I been here on this earth? And I think it said 28 or 23 lifetimes. 23 lifetimes. Um, yeah, could you imagine being on this earth over and over and over again, and you get to the one lifetime and thinking, okay, I am done. If I am done, I do not want to have to come back to this earth again and deal with this. But you may say something different. You may say, you know what? If I have to come back over and over to defeat this darkness, I will. I will come back. I'll keep coming back because you can't get rid of me that easily. Um, Something like that, you all. Yeah, something like that. Coming back over and over again. Yeah, you use a pendulum. I don't use no pendulum, and I don't use those rods. Every now and then, which is very rare, I will pick them up to find some energy. Oh, those are great big grain trucks going down the road. The farmers are harvesting their fields. They got all these grains, and I think they're getting them out of the silos, and they're taking them somewhere. Um, if I had to account how many times I've used those rods this year, maybe twice for like maybe 1 minute each. Yeah, I don't use them. I put them away, is what I do. Yeah. Yeah. Morning in Massachusetts. Skip the dentist. Um, you want tuning forks. Oh, I've heard about those. Like boing. Yeah, that'd pretty neat, you all. Tuning forks. Yeah. $11 for iceberg lettuce where you're at in Australia. Um, oh wow. Yeah, good morning, you all. My battery's going to die on my phone. I can go get my battery charger in here because I had to charge it up and charge my battery if I can get to it. I'm going to get to the battery charger, and I charged it up. Have you noticed that your phone does not last as long as it used to? Have you noticed that? Your phone's battery, because they keep doing updates which require more battery life. You're going to have to go up. You have to look up. Don't look at that part. You can look at this cord right here, you all. Turn this upside down. And let me put this in here. Okay. I think I've got it. I've got it, you all. My battery was going low, is what it was. Yeah. Can I flip this around? Yeah, I've got lots of updates too. And I don't want to do it. And I still got the iPhone that I never did. The one that has the plasma that twirls around in it. I still got it setting in a box because I'm not going to activate it because I don't have service out here unless I'm on Wi-Fi. Yesterday, the text messages come through. Sprint has now become T-Mobile. That's what they said in the text messages. They took over, and that's what we used out here, Sprint, LTE, and I think the 3G. And there is no Sprint tower. There's no T-Mobile tower where we're at all. We don't even get regular T-Mobile out here, not even T-Mobile Wi-Fi because of the area that we live. And now we're on T-Mobile, and I can't even make a phone call outside of my Wi-Fi. So if I had an emergency going down the road, I'm tough out of luck because it says, welcome to Verizon. We will put you over to the operator, and please have your credit card ready. You may be charged to make a phone call. So I've got to figure this out, you all. I've got to figure out what am I going to do because I can't use T-Mobile. We don't have T-Mobile network out here in the country in this particular area. There's no tower, no nothing. Only thing they got for Salem is the main carrier is Verizon. And I thought about, okay, what are they connecting to? Are these towers, how you have the big mobile companies taking over everything? Are these towers affecting us too? Um, all of the signals that are coming off of, yeah. Straight talk. I don't know what that. I'm stuck in contracts. I am, and I have my mother on my phone plan, and where she's at, she gets signal, but I'm not. But then you know how they make you rent your phone, that make you lease your phone like a lease vehicle. That's what they do. So I looked it up, and they said that if you look it up, if you cancel your contract with T-Mobile, you will be required to pay the lease and the remaining lease on your phone and any other monthly whatever things to pay your phone off. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, they make it practically impossible. It's like you're a prisoner. And if you don't outright buy your phone and stuff, see, that's expense at once. And I don't think I should have to pay for something that I don't have no service. And they know there's no service out here for T-Mobile. So I've got to really figure that out today because we don't have it out here now. Yeah. Um, yeah, that's all right, you all. I think the towers are because there was nothing wrong with my body, and I'm sure you know there was nothing wrong with your body at all either until something started happening. Advancement of technology started happening, you all. I'm going to get back to my subject, and I'm probably going to go because I just jump all around. I really do, and I can't help it. Yeah, yeah. The only phone carrier out here is Verizon. That's it. For my little area out here in the country is Verizon. If I were to go maybe 20 or 30 miles, I would be able to get T-Mobile. But for this particular area, which 90% of the time, right here in this area, this vicinity, um, it's Verizon, not any other carrier at all. There's no other carriers. We're out here in the country. Yeah, they have failed their contract. Yeah, that's right. Um, it is so green, you all. It is. It's very green out here. 100 Moon, you go on. That's okay. That is. Yeah, they track all of us since birth. That's right. Yeah. Thank you all. Getting on the porch, I really do. But this is like, I don't like hearing the traffic go down the road because of the heavy grain trucks and stuff, and that loud blue jay. It's not happy. Somebody's getting in its way, interfering, and it's making squawking sounds. Yeah. Um, we have lots of wildlife. Oh, we have wildlife here. It's like a wildlife sanctuary. Lots of bunnies, raccoons, opossums, groundhogs, skunks, great big wolves, coyotes, all types of birds and chipmunks and squirrels. And yeah, it's really nice. Deer. It's really nice out here. So yeah, we do. We got lots of wildlife. I'm in Salem, Indiana. Not every house would look like this, but because we like nature, we planted all this stuff years and years ago and just kept adding to it. You just get a little at a time, and over the years it accumulates. It's just it's like a bunch of fruit trees, edible bushes and stuff, something that the animals can also eat. And it's okay, you all. It really is. It's quite all right. I do like it. Yeah. I'm going to go, you all. Been on here for 50 minutes. I need to figure out what I'm going to do about that phone. I do. But there is something to past lives, because little children, when they're born, some of them have memories of past lives, um, who they were before. And then if you think, when you go to the dentist, your first time to the dentist, you stick that stuff in your mouth, the fluoride, for 30 minutes. Hold it there in your mouth. Don't drink or eat anything, so they can literally just sink down into your body. Yeah, so boom, if there is any memory, out the door is what it is. Um, yeah. You're also welcome. Thank you again. And sorry I got off topic. I went to lots of topics. Sorry. But there is something to that past life and reincarnation and stuff like that. And some people do not want to talk about it. Some people don't look into it. Some people don't believe into it. Some people feel it's taboo. But it is something that people often think about and believe in. So with that being said, hello wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you all for being on here. Thank you, moderators, and you all. Yeah, just keep going on. Don't give up, regardless if there was a past life or not. Keep living this life, because we're here right now. This is the moment in which we need to start doing stuff and continue to live. Love you.